Oh, hey, I didn't see you there. I heard 67% of you are not subscribed to the channel. That's a lot, so if you guys like Chainsaw Man more than me, I suggest you sub to the channel. Thanks!
What's going on, party people? My name is Ice Assassin, and I wanted to make this video to talk about some VTuber drama that's been happening recently and it has something to do with a VTuber named Sinder, which, if you don't know who she is a well-respected VTuber in the VTuber community. She's a big streamer, and she's also a partial owner of Gamersubs, which is a very big deal. But there's been some stuff that came out recently, and it all started with this tweet right here named Nanolis, is a who is a artist that commissions other models for VTubers, and she put out a Google Doc talking about the real truth about Cinder, which I have it right here. And by the way, I already read through all this, so if you guys want to pause this video and want to read it yourself, go right ahead. I really don't care, but yeah. So it starts off with saying that how her experience with Cinder and Red, which he will be a very important person through this video, and I'll explain that throughout the way. But yeah, she just explains her experience with Cinder and Red manipulating her and using her, and basically just trying to not have Nano work for other VTubers and only work for them and only make commission art for Cinder herself, and it's really fucking weird. But yeah, she goes on to saying that where is it? Where is it? Oh, by the way, this is a full unedited video, so no cuts, no anything. So it's just because this is a lot to take in. This is a lot to take in. So she says that I will start with screenshots showing them speaking ill of other creators and spreading rumors while manipulating me. That's that's it all in our best interest. Cinder is basically just talking shit behind her friend's back, behind her other VTuber friend's back, which is crazy to think about. And she puts out all these other Discord messages that she had with Redacted, which is Red for short. And Redacted is basically Cinder's manager, and the reason why I did that is because in reality, Redacted is actually Cinder's boyfriend, which is crazy. Like I get, and I said this before, and I'll say it again. Do not ever mix relationship with business. It's a giant clusterfuck. It's a giant clusterfuck. But yeah, so you can see the Discord messages here that Redacted said, well, with she's given a lot of bias and priority to GS sometimes over Cinder, and we can't really confront them about it. And plus, she's gone 3D lately, which he's talking about Bo, which is another respected VTuber. Bo has been getting on our nerves for a while. This is where it gets crazy. This is where it gets really crazy. For a while, she hijacked our YouTube editor a while ago and is consistently picking up artists that we work with. Which, by the way, that is not true. So he's basically just lying to Nano's face right here. And by the way, I do have Bo's doc, her Google Doc, because she put out a Google Doc of her experience with Cinder as well. So yeah, it goes on to saying that she hijacked our YouTube editor a while ago and picking artists that we worked with, which she's talking about him and Cinder and stuff like that. So it is crazy. And then she goes on to saying Rez asked me to cancel on one of their closest friends, Bo, by asking me to cancel my work mid progress, manipulating me into thinking it is okay since she has many connections, which is crazy, which is fucking insane. But I'll get to Bo's Google Doc in a minute. But yeah, she goes on to saying that manipulating me into thinking it is okay since she has many connections and she'll be fine. Anyways, so I wouldn't feel guilty about it or worry too much about it. So yeah, so they manipulated Nano into thinking like, oh, she doesn't need you. She could just ask multiple other artists because she has so much connections and stuff like that, which is very fucking crazy. Which is very fucking crazy. So and then actually this part right here was got me crazy. Got How do I say this? Sorry, I might. If you're new here, it takes me a minute to think what I'm gonna say because I'm super slow. But so bear with me. So this part right here actually got me like wow. It was like whoa. I was like whoa, whoa. But this is but she talks about exclusivity and blacklisting other creators, which is insane. So she goes, In the message below, they mentioned wanting an exclusivity contract, but they didn't want to pay for exclusivity, but rather when a creator from their blacklist comes asking for a commission, they would guarantee me model work for Cinder only. And if anyone asked me for commissions, they'd commission me instead to compensate for not working with other creators. So basically, what Cinder was trying to do there is that since Nana was trying to work with other VTubers, Cinder was trying to manipulate her into getting her to do Cinder related work more often than working on other VTuber commissions, if that makes any sense. But yeah, so basically, so I'm gonna try to explain that again. But Cinder was trying to manipulate Nano into making more commissions for Cinder Nano to not work for other for in order for Nano to not work for other VTubers, which is crazy. So, and then she said the messages below show that their primary concern is that the more non-Cinder models I make, the less valuable my existing models become. It's hard to say how much this messed with my mind as an artist, that by working with other people, I'm somehow making my existing models less special. So yeah, a little bit of manipulation, and then we go down. I'm gonna try to read the Discord messages as much, but yeah. So Red goes on to saying, I mean, like, if we wanted to have some kind of model exclusivity, what would you need to make that suitable for you? Maybe, and then Nana goes, maybe you can share one of your ideas. I could check it out. Okay, so I got some ideas for this, I guess. I was driving. What are you thinking of? And then yeah, all that stuff. But then this is where it gets crazy. So, well, I think the main things we're looking for are for you not to take on any brand new model client. So Red is trying to tell her not to work for other VTubers. So and to not make any. Oh yeah, I already read that. You'd still be able to work on model slash outfits with all of our other existing babies, and your artwork comms wouldn't be affected. So you know. And then there's this other Discord message saying, "What about blank? We can play, we can pay blank for you, and you don't have to discontinue it from the next payment, and we'll continue giving you lots of model work." So basically, yeah, they're just trying to make Nano work on Cinder commissions more, trying to overwork her, trying to make, how do I say this? Try to overwork her into making Cinder art rather than working on other VTuber related commission arts and stuff like that. So, and then here's another one saying another example of speaking ill of other creators. Right after they saw I was working with Shy Lily, which is crazy, trying. Let me reread it again. Another example of speaking ill of other creators. Right after they saw I was working with Shy Lily, trying to once again make the idea of working with other clients seem like I'm setting myself up with problematic people who will do me no good in the long run to get me to reconsider working with them. So yeah, that's crazy. So yeah, when they saw that Nana was working with Shy Lily, they decided like, no, oh fuck, no, 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 we don't want that. We don't want that. They also continuously kept asking about my other clients' plans, which for them made the antenna go up, and immediately went into slandering Lily. That is legit fucked up, dude. So they found out that Nana was working with Shy Lily, and then they're like, "No, no, no, we can't. No, 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 we can't have you working for her. No, 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 no. You gotta work for us. That's another competition. That's another competition we gotta deal with and stuff like that." And then they consistently try to assure me that despite their best efforts, they just happen to keep trying to bring drama in as reasons for me to go exclusive, and that working only with Cinder is them trying to look out for me, which is crazy. Again, the manipulation again. So yeah, Red goes on to saying, "Hey Nano, do you have any more plans with Lily besides just the models, and then been just the models so far?" Okay, her asking for a model recently just made the antenna go up. She's been acting weird towards Cinder lately, which is fucking wow. I'm gonna keep saying that a lot through this video because it's like so surprising. And she goes on to saying, "Oh, that's weird." And Red goes, "Ever since after V Card launched, damn. Lately dipping out of collabs, they were both apart of at the last minute and now ghosting her messages. Cinder's rated her a couple times in the past week, and Lily won't acknowledge Cinder by name. Now I watched Shy Lily, chat. I watched Shy Lily. She never. Anytime someone rates her, she never misses a rate. So again, another manipulation at its finest. And then it goes on to saying, "Oh, she just after the V card launch, they were after the V card launch, she just ghosted Cinder and stuff like that, which is crazy." And then Nano goes on to saying the idea that they need to stay informed and gauge the competition is extremely upsetting and toxic to me. The competition they're referring to are people I thought they consider friends who always help support it and platform Cinder. When I pushed back, the immediate response was blaming the other creators and implying that they initiated it by working to work with me and that somehow justify their actions. They imply Lily ignored Cinder when she spent over a minute thanking the raid, which you can see in this clip. Yeah, you see it? You see it? I wonder if I can. Hold on. Yeah, let me see if I can. Let's see if we can see the clip.
Ignore what you just saw. Okay.
Yeah, you see it right there. You see it? You see?
Oh my goodness! Hello! Oh!
Yeah, you see it?
Hello, Raiders! Hello, hello!
And you know what's crazy? I even watched this stream too. So that's crazy.
I'm playing Berserker. The last it's called the last.
Which is that is insane. So yeah, Red was trying to manipulate her and trying to say, "Oh, Shy Lily doesn't give a fuck about you." And she did it. First, Red did it to Bo. Now, first, how do I say this? First, Red was saying that, telling Nano that, "Oh, Bo doesn't need any artists," and now saying Shy Lily doesn't acknowledge Cinder's raids, which is insane. And then there's more Discord messages, and she goes to saying, "Below, I wanted to push back and make clear I was uncomfortable on being dragged into drama, and they responded by bringing up more drama and baseless claims, all while trying to guilt trip me. It is ironic and crazy to me that I mentioned not wanting to be dragged into personal issues, only for them on to on multiple occasions mention other people's alleged drama, which is I read this part too, dude. It was like she was manipulation again, lying to her face. Lying to her face, because Cinder goes on right here saying, I get it, Nano, and it was unfair to push this on you, but it's just really confusing going back and forth about it. I just get compared to her a lot, even still today, and it's like I'm always living in someone's shadow. Guilt tripping, bro. Fucking guilt tripping at its finest. Which is one reason why Red asked about not making any more models for her. No, it was all about greed. It's everything always revolves around greed. This whole thing, it just relies on greed. It all connects down to greed. That's it. And then she goes on to saying, and when you said, I understand if things don't work out, it makes me feel like you're okay with not working with me anymore. Yeah, guilt tripping. She's trying to guilt trip. Literally just trying to guilt trip Nano so basically what she's trying to do here is that Cinder is trying to guilt trip Nano into working with her more, and not work for other VTubers. I mean, obviously. So she's basically saying, in my words, she's saying, okay, fine. I guess you can go work. I guess you could go work for other VTubers. It just feels like, I mean, I don't feel like important to you because you work for me, and I feel like you don't want to work for me because you don't like me, or you just like those other VTubers rather than me. And it's like, and Nano is basically saying, in my words, saying that, no, 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 I don't want that. No, 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 I don't want that. I like working with you. It's just I have to do other commissions and stuff like that. But again, Cinder is trying to guilt trip Nano into thinking that she doesn't need her. But yeah, in the same message, Nana goes, I don't really see the point of keeping, uh, keep thinking about being compared to blank. You're so much bigger already. You've done so much more, but I would never give blank any priority over you. Also, there, not even any model for her being discussed. I just want to sleep and clear my mind. So yeah, it goes on like lying to her, manipulating her, and stuff like that, and justifying their behavior by stating that they are simply looking out for me when none of this has anything to do with me to begin with, and manipulating me into being grateful for earning well thanks to them despite the loss of work from long-time returning clients. So yeah, that is crazy. Yeah, so Cinder tries to manipulate Nano here by saying by like trying to try to guilt trip her into saying like, oh, okay, fine, go work with other VTubers. I just feel like you like them more than me. And it's like, no, 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 I don't. And Nana's like, no, no, I don't like. I don't know. I love working with you. It's just I need to work on other commissions. Oh, and I just realized this message here. She says, "I want you to get that money. The whole situation is kind of sucky. I just want to get along. Yeah, get along." But yeah, this is what Nana says right here. And then she goes to saying another example of going after other clients of mine from before, claiming that having more clients alongside makes my work less special with the recurrence of it's just business. Hold on, I got so sorry. I had to clear my throat. Anywho, manipulating me into believing that work with her is special for multiple reasons and that I risk losing that special something as a client if I prefer to work with others. No acknowledgement of my reasoning and need of working with other clients due to the nature of my work, solely focused on their issues. So, yeah. I would also like to note again that this screenshot is one of many occasions that indicate that Red speaks on Cinder's behalf. Yeah, so basically she's saying that Red is basically doing all the talking for Cinder. I was originally concerned with everything going through Red that it may not have been 100% of Cinder's feelings or wants. I messaged her about it to make sure that he spoke on her behalf and confirmed with both of them this was the case. Yep. Is this what I read? Yeah, I did. This is what I read. I understand what he means, but at the end of the day, it's just business. It's just business, bro. That is crazy. Of course, we love working with you and want to keep working together, but if you prefer to work with other clients instead of me, I know it's for a reason for you to help grow and not because of you don't like me. Being one of your very first model debuts was so amazing. I was happy to be able to find someone to help you find, and then she just goes on saying how glad she was to make her model and stuff like that. And then I can have Red send you a list of our plans for the future and estimated due dates. So just let us know. I actually want to know, and then yada yada yada. Also think it's important to for you to work on projects that you're excited about. So I'll go through my plans with Red, send you our ideas, and then if it's possible with your schedule, I know he can be a little pushy sometimes, but he's just doing business for me to grow. Yeah, grow as in attention seeking. Red tries to make it look like they never meant for it to appear like they wanted me to be exclusive by framing it as something I wanted while immediately doubling down on the fact that me working with more people makes my work less special and no longer unique as a very design is your Cinder clone. So yeah, basically saying that so yeah, basically saying that um dude, I'm so slow. But yeah, you know what she's trying to say here. I was gonna say something, but I'm so slow. But let me reread it again. Red tries to make it look like they never met for it to appear like they wanted me to be exclusive by framing it as something I wanted while immediately doubling down. So they didn't want so they're trying to pretend that they didn't want her they were trying to make her believe that she wasn't exclusive or she I'm already fucking up. I'm already fucking up, but you know what I'm trying to say here. You know what I'm trying to say here. But yes, but you know what Red is trying to make Nano into thinking like she's exclusive to Cinder and all that other stuff. But yeah, let me reread this again because I'm trying to better understand this too. Red tries to make it look like they never meant for it to appear like they wanted me to be exclusive by framing it as something I wanted while immediately doubling down. So basically saying like they wanted to frame it like she's exclusive to them. On the fact that me working with more people makes my work less special and no longer unique, as if very design is just a Cinder clone. So yeah, and then goes on to saying this. It's simply business. That is a crazy line. That is a crazy line. Normalizing their behavior once again by stating that this is simply business to sabotage other VTubers' careers and not work with them and focus on Cinder instead, which is crazy. I think it says it right here too. Yeah. Or maybe I just missed it. No, no, no. Yeah. Oh, I see. I mean, what I said is still true about how we feel about but I how we feel. But I wasn't saying you had to only do Cinder work from now on. That's with anything though, not just your work. If you have something special, and then everyone wants and gets that thing, it makes it less special. I'm sorry we were under the impression we were trying to make you do only do work for us. Which we already know. I already got the info here. You just want Nano to only work for you guys and not work for other VTubers. And try to manipulate Nano into thinking like, oh, they don't need you. They don't want you. They don't even care. They don't even care about us either. So it's better if you work for us, which is crazy. And it's okay, Nano. You're just making a living and making a name for yourself. And I can't blame you for accepting work with other big names in the industry and having very desirable talent. If you end up filling your model schedule again, it was let it was let me know. We'll have to replan some things depending on that. Business is business. Now he's saying it now. If you want to go through the projects we talked about and let me know which ones you want to do. So yeah, it's crazy. It goes on to saying, Nano, you're a freelance artist. Again, guilt tripping Nano into guilt tripping Nano again. Goes on, and then Red goes on to saying, "You're a freelance artist, and Blank is a longtime client, so it makes sense to continue doing work for her. I understand the logics of it. At the end of the day, you need to do what's best for you." Right, I know. I just didn't think our other conversation sounded like I was trying to make you not work with her on a model. And then yeah, damage control right here. She talks about making sure none of this making sure none of this reaches the other VTubers as it's all kept hush hush, while also providing proof that they know what they do is ill intended and should not get out, as it would cause issues for Cinder's career to be painted in this light. Well, it's too late now. Well, too late now about that. Note that the uncalled shot at VTuber One which is right here, is even spoilered a hidden message in Discord, so it wouldn't accidentally be leaked. So here's the Discord message saying that I try to be transparent as much as possible. I think it's more fair for both sides this way. You didn't tell Blank you canceled because of Cinder, did you? No, I told all of them it was health issues. So they made Nano lie to other VTubers in order for Nano to continue working with them. So that's crazy. The constant obsession with VTuber One and claiming that she is asking for it by sending this unspoken competition, which is coming from absolute no other source than Cinder herself. Yep. I think it's more like wanting her to recognize Cinder, even though it literally doesn't matter. I feel like there's this unspoken competition between them, like they need to one up each other because Blank can't get along. But I don't But I also understand her point of view. A new VTuber who people say looks, sounds, and acts like you becomes just as successful as you in a year. Which, by the way, VTubers they don't copy other VTubers. They're original, man. Every VTuber is original in their own way. It's so fucking weird to have this ideal thinking like, oh, they're stealing my idea, they're stealing my art, they're stealing my model. It's so weird. If she did recognize Cinder as an equal or a friend, then it would be like she's endorsing her copy, or like I've seen some people say her replacement. They share a lot of the same audience too. Yep, and then like at the end of the day, it isn't about how much we may compare to her. We just want her to recognize her. Hey, Cinder's a big VTuber too. She got there on her own merits, just like you did get along, and the marketing potential and money they could make if they teamed up. See, and that's where greed comes into place because he's thinking about, oh, if this VTuber collabs with Cinder, then imagine the money they can do. Money Imagine the money we can do. Imagine the content we can do, and imagine the money we can make, which is insane. And then I like to highlight the irony of expecting to be entitled to recognition for her own efforts and size when her own active efforts are tied to sabotaging this very same VTuber also feeling entitled and insisting to be recognized by someone else is odd. Which that whole Google Doc is insane. It was fucking insane. And then actually, ever since the suite went out, a bunch of other big VTubers came out, like Bo the whale. She came out with her Google Doc, which I have right here, saying the exact same thing about Cinder too. And I think yeah. By the way, these are the same Discord messages from Nano's account. So, oh wait, no, this isn't Bo. Nah, this one is. Yeah, this is Bo. Yeah, wrong one. This is for another VTuber that I'm gonna talk about right now. So yeah, this is Bo's Google Doc saying like Nanolith was going to be the live 2D illustrator after she finished both the design and base model sketch. There was suddenly back and forth on whether or not she had the physical and mental capacity to continue my model. I was very sad as I had not only teased a screenshot on the model sketch on Twitter, which basically Bo was saying that she was gonna Nano was Nano was working on Bo's model, her new VTuber model, couldn't do it because of couldn't do it because physical and mental capacity and stuff like that. But we later to find out that it was just a lie just to have Nano work for just to have Nano work for Cinder more and stuff like that. And then a grown very but I had grown very attached to the design, and it showed to all my friends. In a private group chat that Cinder was a part of, I shared how devastated I was, and she did not comment or say anything despite others in the group chat confronting and reassuring me. So yeah, so she didn't respond. So when Bo announced that in the Discord server, a lot or in the Discord messages, a lot of VTubers commented and told her that it's like, oh, that sucks. Oh, sorry to hear about that. Except for Cinder, which is kind of sus, which is kind of fucking sus. But later we found out that she didn't comment it because obviously she was part of that. She was part of that. And then yeah, these are the same Discord messages from Nano's tweet. Nanolist asked Redacted on why he is encouraging her to not finish my model. Redacted then lists my name amongst various VTubers as well as the vendettas Cinder and Redacted harbor against each. And then yeah, these are all the stuff that was in Nano's Google Doc. Bo has been getting on our nerves for a while. She hijacked our YouTube editor, constantly picking up artists that we work with. Now she's barking up the tree of one of our L2D animators, which is fucking insane. Which is insane. That is such straight bullshit. Has a way of guilt tripping others to get her way. This is what Redacted lists as reasons why Nanolith should cancel her ongoing live 2D commission with me. All the while continuing to collaborate with me and pretending to be my friend, which is wow. So basically, so yeah, same what Nano said in her Google Doc. Yeah, Bo was lied to, and then Redacted was telling Nano that, oh, Bo doesn't need you. Oh, she hijacked our YouTube editor. Oh, yeah, she has so much connection, she can get another artist immediately, and that's not the case. This is not what friends do. Friends do not sabotage other friends out of business opportunities. Friends do not spread lies to fuel selfish narratives. Friends do not use the private information they get from the privilege of being close friends just to use it to manipulate others. If stepping on your friends and abusing your power and connections is how you get to the top, then I hope you realize no one will be left there. So yeah, it was all. So yeah, basically what this is just Cinder is just doing all of this just because to get more get more followers, and to and get more money out of it. But, greed and fame, always always the big picture in all of this. But yeah, and then Bo puts out more screenshots of the messages, and then this one right here, this one got me invested because she also said regarding the messages where Cinder and Redacted openly accused me of stealing their YouTube editor, Boss Rush music video animator, as well as any other artists they have worked with. So that's crazy. That is insane. Their YouTube editor, Kaiser, is a mutual YouTube channel editor for myself and Cinder. So yeah, their YouTube editor works for Cinder and for Bo too. My channel manager John and I asked Kaiser for one stream highlight per month, as we are aware of his extensive position as Cinder's channel manager. I made a point to note this is my inquiry email to him in 2023. On March 20th, I started a group Discord call that lasted 5 hours to hang out with my editors. In this group, Call Kaiser shared with us that he is afraid to ask Cinder for a raise because he initially turned down an exclusive deal. See, that's where Cinder fucks everybody up because Kaiser says that he turned out an exclusive deal because, like other in the other Google Doc, when Nano says that fine, go work for them if you don't like me, or and then she goes and also saying like don't work with any other people or other VTubers but ourselves. You gotta work for me. As a friend to both Cinder and Kaiser, I encouraged him to take the deal and reassured him that it would not change our friendship, as I would never want someone I care about to miss an opportunity, even if it meant I would lose him as an editor. The other editors who were in the call can cooperate either. And then she goes on to saying about her editor and stuff like that, which it's not just affecting other VTubers too. It's also affecting other it's also affecting other artists too. Sorry, again, I'm slow. Bear with me on this. But yeah, and then Cinder decided to put out a tweet saying, effective immediately, Redacted will no longer be managing overseeing my VTuber activities. He no longer represents me as a creator, my brand, or my intentions. I'm sorry, everyone. I'll make a larger response when I'm able. Which is basically saying she's letting her boyfriend take the fall of everything and not admitting herself that she fucked up. She did all this herself. And then also, while I was reading this, I saw this tweet right here from another VTuber by the name of Vamp Peaches saying basically she already knew that Redacted was her boyfriend, not her actual manager. So in the tweet she says, I remember playing Phasmophobia with you and hearing Red chat away next to you before you first debuted like 4 years ago. You told me he was your boyfriend. Then before we met for TwitchCon, you switched up and said, just so you know, my manager is coming with me on this trip. As if I didn't know who he was. So basically, she knew that Red was Cinder's boyfriend, but when they met at TwitchCon, she just switched up saying, "Oh no, my manager is coming to see me and stuff like that." It's even ickier to read this tweet knowing he is your sufficient other and that you're probably going to try and avoid taking responsibility for hurting people who trusted you as friends by nuking the Red side of this deal. Yeah, so she's basically letting her boyfriend take the fall and not admitting herself that she was in the wrong and stuff like that. And then you got multiple big VTubers, both big and small VTubers exposing her who she really is. Some of them actually shit talking her and then all that other stuff. And then actually I bookmarked it actually. I bookmarked some of the tweets that I was able to find. And I read Cinder's Google Doc about it. And this one, Cinder's Google Doc is actually really interesting right here because it's like, because again, same Discord message, but yeah, Cinder, not Cinder, Silvervale goes on to saying that she doesn't do collabs, she doesn't do collabs with others. She does her own things and stuff like that, and all that other stuff. Yeah, she explains it right here. She says, from the few uncomfortable interactions was it right here? Yeah, I think it's right here. From the few uncomfortable interactions I had I did have with her, I had gotten the vibe that her primary goal was to climb the social and content ladder and grow her brand, which, yeah, again, greed at its finest. I am fully aware how common that attitude is, and that's just how you grow in this sphere. But I personally don't have the emotional fortitude or bandwidth to have friendships that for the express purpose of growth. So Silver is basically saying that she doesn't make friends with people that are just trying to climb the content ladder and stuff like that. The only time I had actually talked to her directly was during my meet and greet at TwitchCon 2023. I had just finished my meet and greet, and as I was wrapping up, she walked directly to the screen to meet me and had someone else take a picture of us together. I was not informed of this picture or asked permission for it, and only knew about it once I saw it on Twitter later. Yeah, so she didn't know. Yeah, so she didn't appreciate her taking a picture Silver at the time, and she didn't even know that this tweet right here was posted until later, until just now. And then yeah, the tweet saying, "Stop by to say hi after my meet, Wolf Grills." That's crazy. And then Silver goes on to saying, and then there's another Discord which I haven't seen yet. Also, Cinder really loved beating you and wanted to collab, so I told her I'd let you know I could throw you guys in a group chat if you were interested. I'm guessing that this is Red doing the talking here. Hello, I appreciate the sentiment, but I prefer not to do collabs. No worries. I hope you're having a good weekend. All things just I'm trying to just busy and lots of IRL stuff coming up. Yeah, so I'm guessing this is Red doing the talking, saying that hey, I can put you guys in the group chat if you want. And Silver goes on to saying nah. After the meet and greet, she contacted my manager at Mythic to ask me to collab with her. I told them I would rather not collab, but accepted her friend request on Discord. After turning her down in private DM, she reached out and asked me to do merch or another various form of collab to be monetized, to which I again declined. So they asked the second time if she's down to do like merch, raw music, sponsorships, and stuff like that. And then again, Silver goes on to say, "No, I don't want to. I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it." You can see right here. You can see right here Cinder saying, "Hey, maybe we should." But yeah, don't worry. If you don't prefer to stream together, my manager suggested something more, so like sponsorships, merch, music, or some kind of other project. And then she says, "Super hectic and busy for everyone. I hope you're feeling better. I'm really flattered, but the persistence, but I'm not interested in transactional relationships." So again, she's not doing. She doesn't want to. She says no again. She says no, and then another message saying like at the end of the day, it isn't about how much we make compared to her. We just want her to recognize. Which basically that was in the Nano Google Doc and stuff like that. And then I had a new live 2D model in the works for my birthday with Nano, which has eventually canceled. I was devastated as Nano was the one who originally asked if she could do this model because she was excited to make it with all the new things she had learned, and my birthday was special. At the time, the reason given was health and stress reasons, but we later to find out it was just a lie. So it was just a lie, which made sense given how much was on Nano's plate, and despite my disappointment expressed, my support for prioritizing her health, I am now aware of the actual reason for her declining work with me on my birthday month. So yeah, it was basically just. I mean, I could go deep and deep into it, but it's gonna be like a fucking hour-long video. But yeah, and then she goes on to saying, Cinder and Redacted have spent years sabotaging me for no understandable reason. I have never done anything to warrant this other than just existing as Silverveil. So yeah, basically for Silverveil, Cinder Cinder tried to ask her to took a picture of her without her consent, without her acknowledgement, and then her manager goes on to saying, "Hey, I can put you in the group chat if you want to," and then she goes on to saying, "No, I don't want to. I don't want to," and then again, and then this time Cinder messaged her saying, "I know my manager messaged you, but hey, we could do like sponsorships, merch, music, all that." I was just saying, and again, she says no. She says no again. So obviously for payback for not collaborating with her, she just steals Nano from her and make her an excuse and stuff like that. And another thing, this is another Google Doc for another VTuber, which where is it? I don't think I bookmarked it, but also I do want to discuss about this Google Doc too, because it's not just happened to Nano, it happens to another. It happened to another artist that tried to commission stuff with her. I already read this too. I read so much of these Google Docs. It's like so hard to explain, especially for someone like me. And then yeah, just as you can see here, I'm repeating the conditions on how the collab is about free art for Patreon shout out. So basically for how do I say this? So for this artist, what was her name? Her name is Nyx. So she does a commission for Cinder and Redacted, and then she's able to do one commission art because that was the deal that they made, that she would do one of the commission art for free, and then they go on to saying, and then and then they tell her, yeah, do both, yeah, do both commissions. So yeah, I'm sorry I'm repeating words because again I'm slow. But yeah, Redacted goes on to saying like, oh hey, do both commissions if that's able, and she's like, and Nyx is like, yeah okay, but I could do one because that I could do one commission for free because that was in the deal. And then fast forward to here, fast forward to here, Cinder actually puts out the commission art that Nyx actually made for her, and she doesn't, and all that Nyx wanted all along, all that Nyx wanted from the beginning was a shout out of her Patreon, but Cinder doesn't do it. She does. I think she did it on stream, and I think she showed her commission art on stream, and she didn't give her a shout out. She didn't even give her a shout out to her Twitter or Patreon. So she basically commissioned. So it says it right here. So I felt scammed. She showed my art, yes, but there's a big difference between our deal and what she said. I left the choice about how long they want to talk about this on stream to everyone who did this collab with me, but not even mentioning Patreon directly was not part of that choice. So yeah, she didn't shout her out. She didn't shout out her Patreon. She didn't shout out her Twitter, all that other stuff. And then in the end, I'm still glad that thanks to that, some people found me and they are happy about that too. So basically, yeah. So Cinder shows her Nick's commission art, but doesn't shout out her Twitter or Patreon and stuff like that. So it is crazy. It is crazy, and I think, and also Cinder gets involved in cheating too, because from this Google Doc here, from a smaller VTuber, yeah, from a smaller VTuber. His name is Rain, and he goes on to saying that Cinder tries to hit on Rain and tries to cheat on and Cinder tries to cheat on her regular boyfriend for another person. Like it says it right here. You guys can pause the video if you want to read it yourself. But yeah, she goes on to say yeah, he goes on to saying that I'm trying to find it. I'm trying to find. Actually, let's go in the beginning. Yeah, right here. Yeah, we never ended up actually making any content together, but that didn't stop us from talking pretty much every day at the time. And eventually, she found a new way to make me useful. Pretty much immediately, she was flirting with me, despite, as you can see here, having a boyfriend, and both of us knowing she had a boyfriend. So she was flirting with this guy and planning on cheating on her boyfriend, which was her manager Red, including regularly talking shit about him to me while telling me how great it would be where where I to replace him. So she was basically planning on cheating on her boyfriend for this guy, and she was talking shit about him behind his back too. So that's crazy, which is insane because how do I say this? Fuck, I hate stuttering. Look, I'm slow. Okay, again, I'm slow. It's hard for me. It's hard for me to talk. But yeah, which is insane because the man, the manager that was basically fucking up other commission artists. He was getting cheated on by Cinder. Like what? Like what? Like really what? And then she goes on to say, "Oh yeah, and her name was Oh, and I forgot to mention at this time her name was Tashi because right here it says the events described in it happened about 4 to 5 years ago before the first Cinder debut. So she goes by, so she was Tashi around this time. Cause look, yeah, 2020. But yeah, she goes on to saying, I've been talking to this guy about how badly I want him to fuck me since you wanted to buy a flashlight instead of giving me any attention, and I'm needy, which is insane. Fucking insane. And then yeah, he sent me a screenshot a couple weeks ago telling me he was gonna get one. Okay, I don't know how we get to the flashlight thing. I'm just gonna skip that. Despite what evidently nothing serious for her and just means of keeping herself occupied, she felt the need to keep stinging me along with proclamations of real love, which again I was silly to have believed in the first place, but still. Regardless, I'm always going to love you. That is crazy. The man, that is crazy. That is crazy. For obvious reasons, I won't share any of the explicit sexting, not just because of the NSFW nature of it, but also I don't think it helps. However, note that this was all went for several months and included more than just text, as both the date and the contents of the following screenshot proves. I mean, it looks like something was going on down down there either way. It's called fingering, dear. Dude, she is trying. Dude, she has the Gooner mindset. She has the Gooner mindset. Brother, what the fuck? What the hell, man? She went full Gooner mode here, trying to fuck this guy here. Hey, Rain, dude, if you're watching this, man, oh my gosh, wow. You must have felt very uncomfortable around that time. One reason I felt important to share these details in particular is because she never found out if Red got told about what happened, especially not in full lucidity. The primary reason I've held on to all this for so long, it was an itchy feeling that Red never fully knew, and it was always felt like it would be unnecessary drama, so I left it alone. So not only she's greedy, but she's a manipulator, guilt tripper, and a cheater. So yeah, that is crazy. And another how do I say it? And another VTuber actually put out a Google Doc, which is right here. I'm trying to find the actually I'm gonna try to find the tweet real quick, see if I can find it. But yeah, there's another Google Doc of a VTuber exposing her for who she truly is too. And let's see. Yeah, it's right here. It's from a so this Google Doc is from a VTuber named Spite or Spit. I think it's Spite. That's how you pronounce it. But yeah. So she goes on to saying that. So I already read this doc too. So she goes on to saying that uh, Cinder's community is like going after her, saying like, "Oh, you're just a wannabe. Oh, you're just a wannabe Cinder. Oh, you're such a Cinder clone. Oh, you're just copying Cinder." Which, by the way, she she's not a copycat, because from here, her Cerberus her Cerberus debut, which by the way, her VTuber is a Cerberus, which is a three-headed wolf dog, whatever, or dog, wherever that animal is. But yeah, she also claims right here. She says the claims of unfollowing her and taking her ideas. I debuted my 2.1 live 2D model May 14th, 2022. On the same day, she decided to post her debut announcement for her 1.1 live 2D model. So Spy was gonna put out her own debut model on right here, May 14th, 2022. And also actually she tweeted it out on May 3rd, 2022. So it was a week before her original debut. But Cinder tweeted it on May 14th and saying that I'm guessing that her debut is gonna be in June. So basically just copying, which at first it was a coincidence. At first she thought it was a coincidence, but it started to get very kind of sus, because for this outfit debut, she was gonna do an outfit debut, and this text happened on July 20th, 2022. But then Cinder did the same thing too. She tweeted about it on September 14th, 2022. So this was like 2 months before. This was like 2 months before her debut and stuff like that, or like 2 months after, stuff like that. I think it says it right here. Yeah, when I debuted it 2 weeks before hers, I got called off-brand Cinder and a bunch of horrible things. So yeah, so she debuted her outfit before Cinder's, and she got more hate from it. And then this right here, this is where it gets actually crazy, cause this is where it gets actually sus, because it says here, on April 29th, 2024, I designed a Greek goddess outfit on stream. I am a Cerberus VTuber, so it fits my lore completely. I mentioned that I may or may not get a future Greek goddess outfit because it fits my branding. About 4 months ago, Cinder debuted a Heaven Okami inspired outfit that was white and gold, resembling a Greek goddess. In the background for debut, she also included Greek columns At this point, I felt like nothing I could come up with would be even slightly original to me. I'm aware that nothing is completely original, but I still wanted my own identity. She debuted her outfit on May 29th, and I'm guessing she yeah debuted 4 months ago. So that's where she's just copying other VTubers ideas and their debuts. And and this one actually huge ballpark hit in the ballpark. On April 20th, 2024, I debuted a new model from my model mama, REVT. I got a hoodie with a cute design on top, and I had side bangs covering my eyes. On April 5th, on April 4th, 2025, Cinder debuted a sports hoodie with side bangs covering her eyes similar to mine, which got me thinking that this was all targeted. This was all targeted specifically to Spike because it says right here she debuted her outfit on April 29th, 2024, and then Cinder debuted this outfit on April 4th, 2025. So a year after her debut. So which got me thinking. Now she's just targeting other VTubers and saying, "Oh no, that's my idea. You stole my idea. You stole my idea." And even right here too, she says, for example, I remember posting about my first ASMR stream. The day that I was supposed to do said stream, Cinder plugged her ASMR channel. So it was targeted specifically towards her too. So she's a manipulator, a liar, a cheater, now a copycat, which is which is not new because on YouTube people copy ideas from YouTube videos all the fucking time, but it's very different compared to VTuber models because it's their original idea. It's their original idea. But then again, YouTube too, YouTube as well. They when you upload a video that's really good, people are gonna copy that because it's your idea. But it's very different from VTubing. But it might be similar. Who knows? But yeah. And then she goes on to saying, I received a DM on January 25th, 2023. I will not disclose who the sender was without their consent. The sender expressed to me that, excuse me, that they were getting bullied by Cinder and certain members of Cinder's community because because she too had fire in her ears. I never responded to the DM because I wanted to save from the drama as much as possible. So not only her, but another VTuber was getting bullied by Cinder's community too, because she had similar she had similar features to Cinder herself. So yeah, that is crazy. Yeah, and yeah, she put out this tweet saying, "Redacted will no longer be managing or overseeing my VTuber activities," which basically throwing her boyfriend under the bus for her. And yeah, that is crazy. Yeah, and I just wanted to talk about this because this is like all over my Twitter timeline, and I just wanted to talk about it because it seemed very, very interesting. So, what's gonna happen to Cinder? I mean, it happens to every other YouTuber or streamer that gets canceled. She's gonna lose her sponsorships. She's gonna lose her streaming friends. She's gonna lose a lot of followers, and then she's gonna put out a response video saying, "I'm sorry," just to get everyone to shut the fuck up, and then she's not gonna stream for about a month or two or like 5 weeks, either 5 weeks or a month. She'll take a break. She'll take a break. Actually, she'll take a break from streaming, and then after that break is done, she'll go back to streaming like it never happened. But she's gonna come back with a smaller viewer count, which is probably gonna happen. I think that's my guess, but it is probably gonna happen. But yeah, I just wanted to talk about this. So yep, thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you're new here, make sure you take your hidden blade and stab the like and subscribe button in the neck. And if you want to get notified whenever I upload or live stream, make sure you stab the notification bell in the neck. It really helps me a lot. And I hope you guys enjoyed this. Again, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I try to explain it the best I can, but I'm so fucking slow and I stutter so much that it was impossible for me to get some sentences out of my mouth, but I try to explain it the best I can. I hope you guys were able to understand my viewpoint. And again, also don't go after also don't spread hate to Cinder cuz I get it. Yeah, she fucked up, but again, people, you don't need to fucking attack her. But there are going to be some people that are gonna take my advice, and there are some people that are not gonna take my advice, and it's like, tomato, tomato. But yeah, I'm out of here. So goodbye. Also, one last thing. As I'm finishing recording this video, I found out that Cinder actually tweeted an apology. She put out a Google Doc saying my apology, and I already read through like the beginning part of it, and Same as her old tweet, same as the other tweet. She's still pinning it on her boyfriend. She's still letting her boyfriend take the fall for it, and not her herself taking accountability of herself. And it's like, dude, like, it's like I said, greed and money, no, greed and fame. Greed and fame always destroys a person. Yep. It's just, it is what it is, man. It is what it is. But yeah, I read, so far, I already read like the beginning part of the apology Google Doc. And dude, again, same as the last tweet. She's still letting her boyfriend take the fall of everything and not herself. But it's weird because she was part of it too, and she was guilt tripping Nano too. And it's like, dude, when I was reading it, I was like, what the fuck? Like, just man up to it, or woman up to it, just woman up to it, and just admit that you were fucking wrong. Dude, even Shy Lily right here is going off by saying, you're the fakest person I've ever had the displeasure of supporting. So yeah, it's like, just own up to it. Like, you were part of it, but you didn't. Yes, you could. Yes, Red was part of it, but you could have stopped him. But no, you let him do it. You were part of it. You encouraged it. So it's like, but it's, hey, welcome to the streaming world, everybody. Welcome to the streaming world.
Jesus Christ,
Oh my
what
God.
is that? What is that?
I don't know.
Alan,
What?
grab it. Grab it.
I'm not gonna grab that. You grab it.
Get it down.